Hi, I'm Uriel Kame. That's me sitting on my dad's lap at just 2 years of age. And in just a moment, I'll show you what this picture and my dad have to do with reversing your type 2 diabetes. Now, I know that sounds really weird, so keep watching so you can unravel the puzzle. And more importantly, in this brief presentation, I'm going to share with you what new research reveals to be a miraculous white starch for helping reverse type 2 diabetes and preventing it from becoming a full-blown disease in those who are pre-diabetic. If you begin using this somewhat unusual superstarch starting today, you can literally expect to get a firm handle on your blood sugar, improve your body's ability to respond to insulin, drop pounds of dangerous abdominal fat, and completely eradicate type 2 diabetes for good, without overhauling your lifestyle or depriving yourself of delicious food. This new information could save your eyes, your kidneys, your legs, your nerves, your heart, and your life. And it's 100% safer than any diabetic drug you've ever taken. I know that may sound far-fetched to you, like it did for thousands of my clients that have reversed their diabetes using this tip, but I promise it's not, so keep watching. You'll also discover why the multi-billion dollar drug industry does not want you to know about what I'm going to share with you in this brief presentation, and why you're likely to never hear about it from your doctor. You'll also get the exact protocol that helped my dad completely reverse his type 2 diabetes after having suffered for more than 5 years with excess weight, devastating diabetes drugs, never-ending glucose monitoring, and a sense of despair and hopelessness. Believe me, if he could reverse this deadly condition, you can too. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. Now, before we go any further, let me ask you, are you worried that your diabetes could destroy your eyesight, cause your feet to be amputated, or simply force you to rely on insulin needles and dangerous medications for the rest of your life? Are you afraid that your diabetes could kill you sooner rather than later, leaving your loved ones all alone? Do you feel ashamed of who you see in the mirror and feel like there's no hope in turning things around? If so, then I'm here to let you know that you can and you will get better if you apply what you're about to learn right here. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. You don't have to be destined to a life of misery with diabetes because it can absolutely be reversed. So keep watching to see how my dad and thousands of my other clients have defeated their diabetes and reclaimed their health. And most importantly, how you can too. Now, I totally get it if you think you've heard and tried it all when it comes to stopping your diabetes dead in its tracks. But I completely guarantee you that you've never seen anything like this before. And I promise you're about to be absolutely amazed. Just be sure to watch this brand new presentation now because it definitely won't be online or free for long. So make sure you watch it while you can. Listen, before we go any further, let me assure you this has nothing to do with supplements, restrictive or prepackaged diets, or whatever weird berry pill the diabetes industry is talking about these days. This is something completely different and you're going to love it. Really quickly, a little tidbit about me you may not already know. I'm a New York Times bestselling author, holistic nutritionist, highly sought after health expert, and over the past 15 years, I've helped more than 500,000 people to incredible health, especially those who've tried everything without success. That's an entire city of men and women finally losing weight and reclaiming their health with my simple yet uncommon strategies that are often the exact opposite of the boring and frustrating approaches other so-called experts tout. These very same strategies have led me to be a regular guest on shows like Dr. Oz and The Doctors. Now, before we go any further, let me show some of the astonishing science that shows how this mysterious superstarch can save your life. You've probably been told not to eat starches and yummy carbs because they spike your blood sugar. But what you're about to uncover right now challenges this archaic thinking, allowing you to still enjoy many of these delicious foods. As you're about to discover, this could be the simplest and most powerful tactic you employ to stop your diabetes dead in its tracks. And yet, no one is talking about it. Instead, the common advice is to eat fewer carbohydrates, especially white refined ones, that spike your blood sugar and place huge demands on your body's insulin. And yes, this dietary advice is important, but I'm here to let you know that not all carbs are created equal. And the deceptive white starch you're about to discover is most certainly in a class of its own. Let me give you a few examples from what the scientific literature is revealing about the eye-popping, diabetes-fighting powers of this rarely discussed superstarch. As you probably know, type 2 diabetes is a leading cause of kidney disease. Due to excess urination that occurs with diabetes, a significant loss of vitamin D is also often seen as the kidneys become damaged. And because of its vital role in bone health, heart health, and so much more, a vitamin D starved body is a ticking time bomb. However, a brand new 2014 study out of Iowa State University has shown that this mysterious white starch could save your kidneys and vitamin D status and dramatically improve blood sugar control. In this study, diabetic overweight subjects were fed either the control diet, which was cornstarch, or one in which cornstarch was replaced with this superstarch for just 6 weeks. The findings reveal that the superstarch group reduced high blood sugar by 41% and prevented urinary loss of vitamin D. Research from the journal Diabetes Care showed that sneaking just 5 grams of this superstarch into a daily muffin helped overweight subjects lower and stabilize their blood sugar levels more effectively than those who did not receive the superstarch. Since sugary wheat-loaded muffins are notoriously bad for diabetics and most people in general, these results are nothing short of amazing. A 2005 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that adding just a few tablespoons worth of this superstarch improved insulin sensitivity by 33% after just 4 weeks. The researchers also noted that fat accumulation was lower after the 4 weeks of receiving this superstarch on a daily basis. Excessive hunger, especially sugar cravings, is another hallmark sign of type 2 diabetes because your body is constantly trying to maintain adequate blood sugar levels. I'll bet your doctor even gave you a piece of his mind when you were diagnosed with diabetes. You're eating too much. You need more self-control is probably what they said. You swore you'd lose weight, and you did for a while. Your blood sugar probably came down too. But then, even though you were eating less, you gained all your weight back and then some, making your blood sugar inch up again. So they upped your medication dose and urged you to stop eating so much. But you weren't to blame. It's your doctor who probably packed those extra pounds under your belt because mainstream diabetes treatments nearly always make you fatter. It should come as no surprise that eating all the time, especially the wrong foods, increases your risk of gaining weight and suffering from additional problems related to excess body fatness. But don't worry because this superstarch has consistently been shown to increase satiety after a meal and reduce cravings for more food so that you don't feel like eating everything in sight. Not only does this amazing starch lower blood sugar and insulin and help you feel more satisfied after a meal, it also lowers the amount of dangerous cholesterol and triglycerides floating around in your blood. It also prevents your body from storing too much fat. When you tally up all these diabetes-fighting health benefits, this starch certainly is one of the most amazing foods that you've never heard about until now. Can you just imagine the absolute joy of finally saying goodbye to your diabetes? The feeling of waking up in the morning, knowing that your blood sugar is under your control and will be throughout the entire day, no matter what you eat, drink, or do. Finally ending the day-to-day guesswork. No more needles, no more expensive and dangerous diabetes medications. No more finger pricking or test strips. No more trips to the doctor for disappointing test after disappointing test. No more frustration and embarrassment. No more boring and tasteless diabetic-friendly food. And above all else, no more feeling trapped or dependent on those you love. Can you just imagine the feeling of knowing you're finally free? Finally rid of this debilitating disease? Finally able to no longer live in fear, but in complete peace of mind, in the knowledge you're no longer a burden or worry for your loved ones. No longer having to face the gut-wrenching decision of letting your family know this meeting may be their last with you. And how do you think your family will feel knowing that they've got their wife or husband or father or grandparent back the way they used to before this disease stole you from them? Now, I know you might be thinking, this diabetes secret might save others, but it's too late for me. Wrong. If my over-the-hill dad reversed his diabetes, so can you. When my dad first told me that his doctor had diagnosed him with having type 2 diabetes, I was shocked. For as long as I can remember, my dad was active and seemingly healthy. But I guess I overlooked the fact that he was beyond stressed, ate a lot of processed food while at work, and smoked a pack of cigarettes almost daily. And I hadn't realized that over the past few years, his stomach had ballooned into that dangerous diabetic belly. His pants no longer fit, he was in constant pain, and he had trouble even breathing. He could barely ride his bike anymore, and standing on his feet for any length of time was like walking on needles. All of this at 45 years old. And this was before I even knew anything about nutrition or health. I was still just a young teenager, so I was powerless. I couldn't help him. Instead, for a few years, I saw my dad suffer and watched his health and zest for life dwindle away. After more than 5 years of suffering and constantly worrying about finger pricks, insulin, blood sugar, and living in fear, my dad finally got the help he needed. A leading nutritionist was recommended to him, and following her simple dietary and lifestyle advice, he got his diabetes under control. Over the next few years, things were looking good, but then he fell back into his old ways. But during this time, I committed to making my life about helping others improve their health, my dad included. I graduated from one of the top 20 universities in the world with a degree in physical education and health, and then became a registered holistic nutritionist to truly master the power of nutrition. By the time my dad had relapsed into full-blown diabetes, I was equipped. I had become a prominent health and nutrition expert and had been a regular guest on shows like Dr. Oz and The Doctors. And in my bag of diabetes fighting tricks was the mysterious superstarch I'm telling you about today. My dad's transformation began in just 3 days. As his breathing and blood sugars improved dramatically week by week, life returned to his body. And 3 months later, you'd never know my dad had ever been diagnosed with diabetes. Now, his blood sugar is totally normal without any need for drugs. Sensation in his legs has improved dramatically. His blood pressure has dropped from sky high to perfectly healthy. He can hop on his bike and go riding again. And as an added little bonus, he lost that diabetic belly fat and kept it off. Now, I'm not arrogant enough to claim that this superstarch was the only reason my dad quickly reversed his diabetes, but it certainly gave him an unfair advantage to reclaim his health and his life when not much else was working. And I can't blame you for wondering, well, fine for him, but what about for me? Well, just give me a fighting chance, and I'm going to prove that you can and you will do it too. See, this is not just an isolated case about my dad. It's a comeback story of thousands of diabetics just like you, men and women who lost hope, who believed that there was no way back from their diabetic death sentence. But in just a few weeks or months, they have defeated their diabetes and regained their life. And now you can too, no matter how far gone you think you might be. And I'll share some of the amazing comeback stories with you in just a moment, so keep watching. Now, before I reveal this mysterious superstarch and show you how to use it to reverse your diabetes for good, I need to warn you. Lowering your blood sugar with drugs can kill you faster than doing nothing. That's right. You are better off doing nothing at all than taking these drugs. Proof of this came in February of 2008 from a great big study funded by our own government. Researchers were testing to see if aggressive blood sugar lowering using metformin and the popular Avandia would protect diabetes from heart disease. Seems like a no-brainer, right? Wrong. They stopped the study 18 months early because it was killing too many people. You read right. Aggressive treatment with blood sugar drugs resulted in a much higher cardiovascular death rate. In fact, shortly after that, both the FDA and Health Canada issued warnings advising diabetics against using Avandia to treat their diabetes. But how did mainstream doctors react to this devastating news and health warnings? They ignored it. Even the researchers from the study went into a state of denial, saying, quote, patients with type 2 diabetes should not be alarmed by these findings, end quote. And it gets worse, because the same thing was originally proven nearly 40 years earlier in 1969. At that time, another big study called the University Group Diabetes Program also had to be stopped 2 years early because patients treated with aggressive blood sugar lowering medication fenformin and a drug called Oronase died 250% more often. And the new blockbuster drugs are doubling your risk of cancer. Even though the aforementioned drugs are used less frequently nowadays, other killers have taken their place. After all, with more than 370 million people with diabetes worldwide, a $58 billion market, there's just too much fruit ripe for the picking. At least that's how Big Pharma sees it. And they're using you as a guinea pig just so they can fatten their wallets. Now that Avandia has been pulled from the market in Europe and regulated into near irrelevance in the US, the FDA is now doing a deeper dive into the cancer risks of more recent blockbuster diabetic drugs like Merck's Januvia and Novo Nordisk's Victoza. Even the world's top-selling insulin drug with $4.7 billion in revenue, Lantus, was recently shown to more than double the risk of developing cancer among people with diabetes. According to this study that was presented at the San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium, diabetics who use Lantus had a 2.9-fold greater chance of cancer. So are you tired of being a human guinea pig? The cold truth is that the drug companies are publicly traded companies on the stock exchange. This means they are compelled to put their bottom line before anything else, including your health. So if they see a way to make billions year after year after year at the expense of drug sufferers like you, they'll take it without a second thought. And if they need to cut some corners and tell some lies in order to make that happen, well, that's just business. The cold, hard truth is this. Big Pharma's diabetes drugs are incapable of ending your diabetes. If anything, they'll kill you faster than doing nothing at all. So now what? If the drugs won't save you, are you doomed? Hardly. There are millions of diabetics all around the world that have reversed everything from hardened arteries and high blood pressure to complete congestive heart failure without drugs in mere weeks. How? Some have incorporated natural remedies like bitter melon, which according to a 2009 study published in the Journal of Phytomedicine was far superior to the diabetes medication Avandia in the management of diabetes and its complications. Others have cleaned up their diet and started exercising more, both massively important and effective at completely reversing diabetes. But this could be the real kicker. It's the mysterious superstarch I've been touting throughout this presentation. The best part is that you can enjoy this white starch every single day, and it will actually improve your blood sugar, insulin sensitivity, and help you lose weight. What is this miraculous white superstarch? It's called resistant starch. And while the media, doctors, and other health experts tell you that carbs, especially white ones like bananas and potatoes, are bad for your blood sugar and can make you fatter, this is actually not the case. At least not when you eat them according to how I'm going to suggest in just a moment. Unlike refined carbohydrates, which lower insulin sensitivity and spike your blood sugar, countless studies have now shown that resistant starch could be a massively important food for diabetics. Most of the carbohydrates in our diet are starches, which are simply long chains of glucose or sugar, mostly found in grains, potatoes, and various plant foods. But not all of the starch we eat gets digested. Not all of it raises your blood sugar. Sometimes a small part of it passes through the digestive tract unchanged. In other words, it is resistant to digestion. This type of starch is called resistant starch, and it actually functions much like a soluble fiber. And as I showed you earlier, many studies in humans show that resistant starch can have powerful health benefits, such as improved insulin sensitivity, lower blood sugar levels, reduced appetite, and greater weight loss. The main reason why resistant starch works so well is that it functions like soluble fermentable fiber, passing through your digestive system undigested, eventually reaching the colon where it feeds the friendly bacteria in the gut. There are hundreds of different species of bacteria in your gut, and unless you've been living under a rock, you undoubtedly know that good bacteria in your gut can have a profound impact on your health. The good news for you is that resistant starch feeds the friendly bacteria in your gut, which positively affects the type of bacteria as well as the number of them. When these bacteria digest resistant starches, they form several compounds, including short-chain fatty acids, most notably a fatty acid called butyrate, which have even further health benefits. Ensuring good gut health is paramount for reversing your diabetes because more and more research is suggesting that obesity and type 2 diabetes are associated with a profound dysbiosis, which is essentially too much unfriendly gut bacteria. And perhaps the best part of all of this is that resistant starch has 50% fewer calories than regular starch. Thus, the more resistant starch is found in a food, the fewer calories it will contain and the easier it will be for you to lose weight. Because of its fiber-like properties, adding resistant starch to your meals also increases feelings of fullness, which further helps you lose weight because you won't feel like eating everything in sight. And if you're unsure where to find resistant starch and how to use it properly, and this is important, then fear not because I've laid everything out for you, along with a number of other diabetes beating strategies inside the Defeating Diabetes Kit. Inside this diabetes fighting resource, not only will you learn exactly how to harness the power of resistant starch, but you'll also discover a host of other strategies for reversing your diabetes once and for all. No drugs, no expensive treatments, just 100% natural solutions that are safe and effective. Here's what you get inside. Component number 1, the Super Starch Solution. Over the last few minutes, you've witnessed the power of resistant starch for helping you beat diabetes for good. In this special guide, you'll learn everything you need to know about resistant starch and how to make it work for you starting today. Inside, you'll discover the 4 best food sources of resistant starch. Most health experts will cringe at this list, but until they realize their true health benefits. How to prepare white foods to increase their level of resistant starch so that you get more bang for your buck out of every bite. The super convenient white powder that has more resistant starch than any other food. Simply add a tablespoon to water and reap the benefits. And more. This guide is not sold anywhere else, and its true value of $27 is still grossly underestimated. Yet you get it for free today. Component number 2, how to eat to beat diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is 100% reversible through lifestyle alone. I've seen it thousands of times already. And a big part of that stems from the foods you put in your mouth. And chances are you're probably unsure which foods will do your body best and help you beat diabetes once and for all. Well, not anymore, because this 43-page blueprint gives you the exact nutritional plan you need to defeat diabetes forever. Inside, you'll discover 14 delicious, nutritionally rounded, and completely unique diabetes-friendly recipes which you can prepare at home in a matter of minutes. You don't need any special ingredients or equipment, and these meals taste good. You won't want to go back to normal food again. You'll also get my own proprietary 7-day rapid results diabetes-friendly meal plan. This is the easiest and most direct way to turbocharge our counterattack against diabetes. Specific nutrition guidelines for stabilizing your blood sugar and insulin level. These key insights give you the freedom to adapt these recipes and the meal plan to your own unique lifestyle and culinary preferences while still retaining all the diabetes defeating benefits. You'll also get an updated list of all the best and healthiest low glycemic foods to enjoy, which release a slow and steady stream of energy into your body without sending your blood sugar levels skyrocketing. You'll also discover all the high glycemic foods you should avoid like the plague. And you'll get a comprehensive list of all the diabetic-friendly foods I always recommend to my private clients when I prescribe their nutrition plans. There's so much variety on this list, you can simply never get bored of eating well, no matter how fussy an eater you are. You'll also learn about 8 diabetic-friendly supplements that turbocharge the diabetes defeating benefits of all the recipes and strategies outlined in the rest of this guide. Most supplements are, quite frankly, a waste of money, but these will accelerate your fight against diabetes. And discover 9 diabetic-friendly herbs, which you'd never think would be so powerful at helping you rid your body of diabetes. One of these, especially, is so outrageously effective, you'll wonder why nobody else is talking about it. And there's so much more. This is the exact formula that I've given to my private clients. And I guarantee if you follow the simple steps I've outlined, you'll be back to feeling healthy in no time. The regular value of this How to Eat to Beat Diabetes guide is $250, but I'm including it for you today in your Defeating Diabetes Kit. Component number 3, 20 delicious diabetes recipes. Again, what you choose to put in your mouth is vitally important for stabilizing your blood sugar and insulin levels. But knowing which recipes are diabetic friendly while still tasting delicious is no easy task. Not to worry, I've done all the work for you by providing you with 20 no thinking required, mouth-watering recipes that are 100% diabetes friendly. All 20 recipes are based on whole foods that are all low on the glycemic index and quick to prepare so that you won't have to be a slave in your kitchen. You'll enjoy delicious and easy to make meals like morning glory omelette, or apple orchard oatmeal, or the Mediterranean quinoa salad, and many more. This recipe guide is normally sold separately for $17, but you get it for free as part of your Defeating Diabetes Kit now. Component number 4, the Isoburn No Movement Workout. Exercise is the most important missing component from most diabetics' lives. It's so important, I simply cannot stress that enough. But exercising on your own can seem daunting and scary, especially if you're not sure what to do or how to work out properly. And what if you have joint issues that prevent you from doing traditional exercises like squats or stairs? Once again, I've got you covered because you'll get to enjoy a groundbreaking new workout I've created called IsoBurn. What makes this 20-minute workout so unique is that it involves no movement, no bending, no twisting, nothing that will worsen any body pain you might have. Yet it still burns fat like an intense workout, but without all the unneeded stress on your body. It works so well because it harnesses the power of static contractions, also known as isometric training. And the best part is that you get IsoBurn in follow-along audio and video format, so you'll have me as your virtual trainer to coach and motivate you each step of the way. Never again will you have to work out alone or feel uncomfortable going to a gym. Just do this quick workout 3 times per week from the comfort of your own home and experience the blood sugar balancing and fat burning benefits. This workout is not sold anywhere else, and similar workouts that I've created sell like hotcakes at $27. Yet, you get IsoBurn absolutely free as part of your Defeating Diabetes Kit when you get started today. So why am I literally giving you this Defeating Diabetes Kit today? Well, you've just been handed the exact blueprint for reversing your diabetes. And when you add up these 4 crucial components, you'll see that the actual retail value of this Defeating Diabetes Kit is $321. And even then, this is a far cry from what my personal clients have paid me in the past to help them beat their diabetes and reclaim their health. And it's certainly much less than what you'd pay a naturopathic doctor or a dietitian only to leave their office with hundreds of dollars in supplements. Still, you won't pay anywhere near that price today. You won't pay $147, not even $97. Heck, you won't even pay the regular price of $67. When you grab the Defeating Diabetes Kit right now, you will instantly lock in a very limited time price of just $37. And yes, I know that $37 is laughable compared to the scope of your diabetes, especially when you consider that the average diabetic wastes $85,000 over their lifetime on diabetes-related medical expenses, including many of those deadly drugs, according to the American Journal of Preventive Medicine, with very poor outcomes. So let me tell you why I'm literally handing this to you on a silver platter today. I'm on a mission to help 10 million people overcome diabetes and live healthier and fitter lives by 2018. I want you to join me, and I don't want finances, especially a measly $37, to stand in the way of you achieving the health you deserve. I've seen this completely reversible disease rip families apart. I've seen well-intentioned people like you lose their eyesight and the proper functioning of their legs because they didn't know what to do. And this disease has made far too many people a heavy burden on their families, and I don't want that for you. Do you? That's why I'm making this life-changing information and these rarely discussed diabetes fighting strategies available to you today at such a low price. This is what one of my clients, Jerry Lane, had to say about switching from deadly drugs to my proven approach. I was taking the max quantity of metformin, 2,000 milligrams a day, as well as insulin 4 times a day for over 10 years. Now, due to change of lifestyle, eating and exercise, I no longer take any type of medication for diabetes or high blood pressure. It can be done. I've lost 110 pounds as well. Life is good. Here's what a few of my other clients have experienced following my diabetes fighting advice. This is what Cynthia Flores said. Yuri, within the first week of following your Defeating Diabetes plan, I noticed 4 incredible changes. First, my blood sugar numbers decreased by about 50 points, and I've been type 2 diabetic for 10 plus years. Second, I've always suffered from bacterial vaginitis, and it has been miraculously disappeared. Third, my energy level has noticeably increased, and finally, I now have 2 to 3 bowel movements a day versus 2 to 3 times a week. Star from Alaska reported this. I've had many changes since going through your Defeating Diabetes Kit. I am diabetic, so I was so tired and lethargic all the time. But with only a few changes, I was able to clear my thinking and start to feel nourished. This was all I was looking for. I just needed to function. Did I ever get more than that? So thank you, and I am now trying to help others. And then there's Cindy Rankin, who said, I am really enjoying the Defeating Diabetes program and recipes and getting so much useful information from it. I have lost 10 pounds since starting a few weeks ago. I've also seen a great improvement in the stomach issues I've dealt with my whole life. I'm so excited about it, and I've shared your program with my parents, in-laws, and friends. My father is a diabetic and takes insulin. Since my mother bought your program for my father, he has dramatically cut down on the amount of insulin he takes. Sometimes he doesn't even have to take any. My friend also bought your diabetes program and is also very excited about it. I am so glad I found you, and I know that I will lose the remaining 15 pounds, along with getting fit and healthy. Thank you. You see, the best part is that their success can also be yours, starting today. Simply click the Add to Cart button below this video right now to claim your special discounts and download the Defeating Diabetes Kit. But I must warn you, you will get worse if you don't take action today. Your blood sugar will continue to skyrocket and no amount of medication will save you. Your weight will spiral out of control and you'll be a massive burden on your family, who will come to resent you for wasting so much of their time with never-ending complaining, doctor visits, and a myriad of expensive pills. You will be dependent on temporary fixes like injecting insulin needles into your body every single day. You won't be able to enjoy delicious foods that this world has to offer. You'll constantly feel terrible about yourself because you're overweight, lethargic, and have little hope for a better future. You'll be so unhappy and crabby that no one will want to be around you, and you'll spend the bulk of your days all by yourself, alone, to sulk in your own misery, constantly worrying about when your time on this planet will be up. Is that what you want? Do you? If not, then grabbing the Defeating Diabetes Kit is not just the best solution right now, it's the only solution. Time is not on your side anymore. Now is the time for action. So go ahead and make the only smart choice you can make by clicking the Add to Cart button below right now so that you can instantly download the Defeating Diabetes Kit and improve your future starting today. And if that's not exciting enough, then let me sweeten the pot a little further by giving you this mouth-watering super bonus, the All Day Energy Diet Community Cookbook. When my published book, The All Day Energy Diet, became a New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and USA Today bestseller in late 2014, I celebrated by giving everyone who purchased my book a beautiful cookbook that I compiled along with several other leading nutritionists and best-selling authors. Together, we compiled 67 diabetic-friendly, energizing recipes that take less than 15 minutes to make. They are 100% allergen-free, so no gluten, no dairy, and the best part is that they taste amazing. I don't want you to rely on fast food, microwave dinners, or the same boring meals that have gotten you into trouble. If you only ate these new 67 meals for the rest of your life, not that you have to, but not only would you completely be satisfied, but your health and body would be transformed. So I'd like you to have this cookbook as my free gift to you for taking action today and grabbing the Defeating Diabetes Kit. After all, food is where it all starts. Eat the wrong foods and you are doomed. Eat the right ones, like the ones in this cookbook, and you can quickly beat diabetes and lose weight once and for all. Just click the Add to Cart button below that you see right below this video right now to instantly download the Defeating Diabetes Kit and this juicy fast action bonus. Let's recap everything you're getting today with the Defeating Diabetes Kit. You get the Super Starch Solution, how to eat to beat diabetes, 20 delicious diabetes recipes, the Isoburn No Movement Workout, and the bonus, the All Day Energy Diet Community Cookbook. That's a total value of $368. And remember, the regular price of this entire package is still just $67. But when you hit the Add to Cart button below this video right now, you instantly save $30 and the entire Defeating Diabetes Kit is yours for just $37. Can you really afford not to have this? Now's your chance to make a difference. Listen, I understand if you're skeptical or don't feel that this can work for you. I know that you may feel that you're too far gone to turn things around, and that's completely understandable, especially if you've been suffering with diabetes for a long time. But from the bottom of my heart, and from over 15 years of experience, I can tell you that there is no other disease more reversible and preventable than diabetes. You just have to know what to do. And that's what I show you in the Defeating Diabetes Kit. And that's why I want you to try it for yourself, then decide. You see, I realize that taking the step and following through is a risk on your part. Beyond the studies confirming that resistant starch does what I'm telling you it does, it's a big step to throw off what you've constantly been told in the past and put your faith in a plan you've never heard of until today. That's why I'm going to take that risk and put it on my shoulders so that you have nothing to worry about by backing up your order with my 60-day better your blood sugar or your money back guarantee. I believe so strongly that the Defeating Diabetes Kit will completely reverse your diabetes and help you feel alive again, that if it doesn't improve at the very least your blood sugar levels within 60 days of your purchase, I'll give you a full refund. Is that fair? You now hold the key to a life of freedom and joy that you might have thought you'd never get back again. Will you take it? Just press the Add to Cart button below, and in minutes, you'll have in front of you everything you'll need to take the burden of diabetes off your shoulders or those of your loved ones and toss it away. The life you've always dreamed of but no longer thought you could have is now just a click away. I know that deep down inside, you want more out of life. You want to feel great and be healthy so that you can do the things that matter most to you. You want to feel like a capable and productive human being. You want to stop spending a fortune on doctor's visits and damaging medications. You want to stop worrying about what to eat and how to schedule your day to accommodate your diabetes and the drugs that claim to help you control it. You want to live a life of freedom, to live on your own terms again, to show your loved ones that they have you back the way you used to be the person you always were but thought you'd never be again. If this is what you want, the button to make it happen is right in front of you. Press it and get ready to live again. I know one thing for sure. When you reach out and click that Add to Cart button, in just a few weeks and for the rest of your life, you're going to be so glad that you did. Life is waiting. Get started now. Click the Add to Cart button below to instantly download the Defeating Diabetes Kit and get your life back.